As I said again, Israel never was planning to starve anyone.
Okay, let's just say there was a deliberate policy for nearly 12 weeks of starving Palestinians, and that some of them starved to death. I mean,
there wasn't a policy of starving Palestinians.
מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם.
We're not sending soldiers to shoot at people, hungry people in Gaza. I mean, where does he get this contorted idea from?
Israeli soldiers saying they were ordered to open fire on crowds of civilians seeking food, even though they posed no threat.
Based on misinformation, like these false reports we've had today of Israel shooting 31 Palestinians attempting to get to food.
In that first month, Israel's Haaretz newspaper documents 19 instances of the Israeli army opening fire.
It was the IDF that was responsible for safely delivering these vital supplies. But we found they opened fire on unarmed, starving Palestinians at close range as the aid arrived.
And by the way, the pictures we're seeing are from northern Gaza, where GHF is not yet operating. But in the areas of southern Gaza, where GHF is operating in full with 4 distribution sites, we don't see the pictures of hunger.
For weeks now, images like these grimly familiar. Food distribution by GHF, the Israeli US-sponsored Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. 549 people have been killed in the first month of the foundation's work.
Well over 800 civilians seeking food have been shot. And it appears that they were all shot, or mostly shot, by Israeli troops as crowd control. This is the same number as the number of Israeli civilians that were killed on October 7.
It was a famine. People couldn't find anything. They were competing with animals to share their food.
تزايد يعني شديد بأعداد الحالات اللي بتتوافد على مستشفى كمال عدوان بسبب المجاعة وبسبب سوء التغذية.
I mean, for crying out loud, you want to blame us for conducting a war while we're providing as much humanitarian aid as possible.
Israel is the only country that has been forced to provide food and fuel to its enemy.
Israel does follow the law of war and goes way beyond the legal obligations, like feeding the enemy's population.
Any country in the world has ever been asked to feed the people.
It's the law, Jonathan. It's the law. When you're illegally... Both Uday and Mohammed have acute malnutrition.
That was blood libel. When you put a picture of a sick Palestinian boy who has a disease and you claim that he was starving, that was a lie.
There are many, many images coming out of Gaza of starving children. We're not making this up.
First is what we have seen with the manufacturing of this disinformation that comes out of Gaza from Hamas, that is promoted by NGOs.
There are no bullet holes or shrapnel wounds marking this man's body. His bears the signs of a far more silent killer: starvation. At 41 years old, Mohammed al-Hassanat is one of at least 45 Palestinians who have died of malnutrition in just the last week, according to the Palestinian Health Ministry. An entirely man-made humanitarian crisis in Gaza, now reaching unprecedented levels. The question now is not whether starvation will claim more lives, but who will be its next victim.
So this is a lie. This is a complete lie. You know we get aid into Gaza.
Where did that aid go if all of these claims of starvation are to be taken seriously?
Local media identifies some activists from the group ransacking aid trucks. Individuals within the Israeli forces reportedly tipped them off about where to target.
At the end of the day, it's a fake. It's lies.
We are not starving a population. We will never starve a population.
There is no Israeli-imposed starvation on the Gaza Strip.
במשך חודשיים וחצי לא הכנסנו סיוע הומניטרי לרצועת עזה. זה יצר לחץ גדול מאוד על חמאס, וטוב ש...
There is no large-scale starvation.
Israel has enabled more than 40,000 aid trucks to enter Gaza. That's 500,000 tons of food. And that's more than 3,000 calories for every man, woman, and child.
Which is more than required for the civilian population.
מינימום נדרש שיגיע לאוכלוסייה, פשוט כדי שהעולם לא יעצור אותנו ויאשים אותנו בפשעי מלחמה.
If there are Palestinians in Gaza who aren't getting enough food, it's not because Israel is blocking it, it's because Hamas is stealing it.
Young settlers also stepped in, beating up drivers, looting aid, and even torching trucks heading to Gaza.
Most food stocks have run dry. Malnutrition cases are skyrocketing, and there is only so much Gaza's under-resourced hospitals can do.
I challenge you and I challenge everybody who have been screaming and were part of the starvation campaign and the famine, all of the other nonsense that...
The prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has shamefully accused Israel of deliberately starving the people of Gaza. This is utter, complete nonsense. It's a complete fabrication.
I know for 100% sure that there is not a restriction on the amount of aid that is allowed into Gaza. There is an operational distribution problem that primarily is being blocked right now by the United Nations.
We will use different methods. One of them is not to give them any humanitarian aid, so the countries of the world will have pity on them and take them.
The extremism reflected in these activists, both online and in the mainstream media, is coming from the top, from the Prime Minister himself, calling up biblical references of brutal retaliation.
זכור את אשר עשה לך עמלק, מצטבר. יש לחץ בינלאומי והוא גובר, אבל דווקא כשהלחץ הבינלאומי גובר, אנחנו צריכים לצופף את השורות בינינו. אנחנו חייבים לעמוד יחד מול הניסיונות לעצור את המלחמה.
People make mistakes. Of course they do. That's just a human reality of war, horrible as it is. I don't think it shows in any way that Israel is prosecuting this war wrongly.
We add such a huge pressure on Gaza that Gaza will become an area where people cannot live.
The Israelis are using surgical targeted strike.
The military response of the Israeli army has been massive and brutal. The civilian population of Gaza is on the front line. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, including numerous women and children. Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced, and whole areas have been destroyed.
80% of Palestinians in Gaza and in Judea, Samaria, and the West Bank support the savagery.
I believe the Palestinianism in Gaza is on a level of evil that we saw in Japan and we saw in Germany back in World War II.
You know, open celebration, right? It's like it is completely intelligible. This from a cultural standpoint within Gaza, that this is exactly what you do. This is the good is on your side.
There's an Israeli song called "This Was My Home." What they would do is dress up as caricatures of obviously what they perceive Palestinians to be, being sung mockingly to people who no longer have homes.
An influencer suggests Palestinians are faking their injuries. Another influencer taunts Palestinians for the loss of water and electricity.
The problem is not Netanyahu. The problem is the whole of Israeli society. If you look at the polls, half of Israeli Jews believe Israel should commit a genocide in Gaza. That's what the polls show.
We're not looking at some sort of obscure subculture within Israeli society. This is mainstream Israeli society.